Greetings YouTube. I have for quite a while now, maybe the past few months, been kind of trying to move myself away from constantly keeping up with the latest releases. You know, I haven't even bought God of War Ragnarok yet. I'm waiting for a price drop. But I don't want to race to, you know, do a new game every fortnight like I used to, like I spent a few years doing on this channel. So I just kind of want to pick out different games that just kind of attract me attention, that may have been out for a while. I'm not really bothered. I've been doing that for the past few months, and I'm going to continue doing that now. I probably will pick up Ragnarok at some point. Well, I will pick up God of War Ragnarok, but not right now. In that spirit, this is Hardspace Shipbreaker. Have you ever wanted a job where you spend all day smashing huge things to pieces while being screwed in the arse by corporate? Then do we have the job for you? Okay, I get the joke. It's a stratospherically long contract that nobody is gonna read. I didn't. I've just signed up for the job and immediately been billed $1.2 billion. And straight into the first tutorial. Honestly, with all the corporate shit, I'm surprised they're giving you any training. You have two tools, a laser and a grapple. The laser cuts, the grapple grabs and tosses.
That's how you do it.
There are two types of collection bins. One's the processor, the other is the furnace. Different materials need to be tossed into different bins, cut, grab and toss it. Simple. The material even tells you where to toss it.
Deposit accepted.
Treat it like a game of zero-G football. You get a choice of ships to work on after that. Me, I went for this small transport. Level 0, no hazards, salvage value is $2.5 million. Now, because it's my first proper ship, there's no time limit or any distractions, anything like that, so you can take your time, figure it out, pull it apart. You have a scanner that lets you get a feel for the structure of the ship. Use it. You can approach the ship a number of ways. Me, I chose to go in through the windscreen. It was right in front of me, okay? No, I didn't think to look for a door. Leave me alone. I then proceed to cut out the wall.
You know what made me come up here? That skin and everything. One found a warehouse full. Since the AI ban took effect, probably bought the whole lot.
That didn't work. It occurs to me that I'm being a pillock. and I'm ignoring the very obvious cut points inside the ship.
Man, I looked into getting on with links. I tell you what, it's a sight better to cut up something that doesn't look like a family.
Whoa! And the roof lifted off. Did you see that? Get some more cut points. Now grab the roof and toss it. Another panel. Yes, it's all coming apart. Ships are typically built with an outer and an inner hull. The outer hull is for protection, the inner hull is for people to walk around in. They usually need to be placed in separate bins, so you have to cut them free of each other.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
And the front is disassembled. The rest of the ship's pretty much the same. Alright, having finished with that ship, time to pick another. You notice that the new ones are all now level 2. Notice also that they're worth about $5 million now, twice the starting ship. But more concerning, the explosive hazard. The game now introduces a third collection area, the barge. It's green, it's massive, and it's right below you. Basically, the barge is for anything complicated, like seats and computers and lights and, stuff like that. Anything the company can rip out of this ship and jam into a new one, because they're a bunch of cheap bastards. I go in through the windscreen again, because I'm stubborn, and immediately encounter furniture. Grab and toss. No cutting required.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Just remember to toss it in the barge, not the bins. You toss something in the wrong place, it doesn't count. It gets destroyed. And now you have to worry about all those pesky gauges.
Now, no need to panic. They'll last you a good while. But if you end up running out, you gotta top up at the kiosk over there. Let's have a look.
Normally, I'm against any game giving you more than 3 survival gauges. It's too much to keep track of, normally. There are some exceptions that don't feel as bad because of the way they're done or because of what they track. Here, oxygen is the only thing you really need to keep an eye on. Thruster fuel only depletes when you change velocity, so it lasts longer. Health and suit integrity only deplete if something goes really wrong.
Salvage registered.
Speaking of which, I think I just found the explosive hazard. Okay, let's see if we can cut the surrounding free. I'm guessing lasering a fully stocked fuel tank is a bad thing, so let's cut everything else. Uh-oh.
Fire damage.
As soon as I saw it flame, I knew I'd fucked up. Now the side of the ship is in pieces, and it's gonna take ages to clean this up. On the plus side, all the milestones are still within reach. And I found the second fuel tank. This time, I'm definitely cutting everything around the fuel tank free before touching it. Uh-oh.
Entering rest mode. Your daily performance feedback will be available shortly in the links.
Fuck! Okay, so if the laser clips through something on the way to the point you're actually cutting, it does nothing. Unless it's a flammable something, in which case it explodes. Good notes. Also, I've now died, so I get a new clone, which costs more money. And eventually, I clean everything up. Just over 80% complete. Next ship.
Salvage accepted. Credit applied.
It's pretty much like the last one. Oh, fuck! Well, on the plus side, it can't go any worse than last time. Oh.
Wards assigned.
Normally the grapple cursor has 4 triangles. If you point at something that's meant for the barge, it shows 8 triangles. The fuel tanks count as furniture. Furniture! Also, it says barge. Should probably have seen that earlier.
Salvage deposit confirmed. Applying credit.
But this isn't all you'll face. Oh no, corporate doesn't want you to get bored with your job. You'll also face things like this. There are reactors that explode shortly after you remove them. Power generators.
Salvage accepted.
The thrusters. Oh god, the thrusters. To separate side thrusters, you just cut them loose, nice and easy. To separate the central rear thrusters, you need power to the switch. The number of times I've pulled all the batteries out of a ship, then realised I've no power for the thruster panel. And then there are the quasar thrusters. These testaments to corporate shortcuts require you to pull off the panels, cut the thruster cap free, then laser the fuel lines. No, you heard me correctly. Laser the fuel lines. Drag out the thruster and race down a now burning corridor to shut off the fuel supply. Because there's no other way in. Maintenance must be a bitch on these things. And did I mention, I know I didn't, the reactor class 2? To disconnect the reactor class 2, you must access the ECU panel and pull the coolant tanks. Then, making sure the power is still on, disconnect the thrusters from the core. Which will send the core into a meltdown, so make sure you've already cleared a path. What? Oh god, oh god, oh god, I did a bad thing. What do I do? What do I do? Cut, 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 cut. And push. No! Cut, 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 cut. Push. No! Cut, 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 cut. Ah! This is not working! This is not working! Abandon ship! Women and arseholes first! Ah! Damn it! You know the really annoying thing about that? You lose the reactor. And the thrusters. And the ECU. You lose 3 high-value items in one shot because they're all part of the same pipe-connected system, so the whole thing goes up. Well, that's 24% of the ship's value wiped out with one single mistake. Shit.
Safe full. Well done, Cutter. Rest should be a breeze. Just place it on the old barge. 1 minute left, Cutter. Time to start wrapping things up.
But don't imagine there's a lack of variety here. Oh, there are so many ways for you to die on the job. There's electrocution.
Electrical damage.
Oxygen starvation.
Welcome to Vintage Rock 9000.
Oxygen levels stabilizing.
Radiation. Incineration. Detonation.
Please refrain from damaging salvage.
Blunt force trauma.
Critical helmet damage detected.
And a personal favourite of mine, explosive decompression. space magical?
Salvage deposit accepted. Credit transferred. Valuable object processed. Credits awarded. Salvage deposit confirmed. Applying credits.
Salvage enough of the ship and you hit those milestones, those diamond shapes on that top gauge. Hitting your milestones is the most important thing you can do in the entire game. Once you've finished, you get a summary of how well, or how shit, you did. Each dollar goes towards paying off your galactic-sized debt. It also goes towards your milestones. Each milestone gives you MP that raises your level, and LT, links tokens, which go towards upgrades. So you're not just paying your corporate overlords for the fucking privilege of working for them, oh no, you're working towards better salvage and upgrades. That means you can work harder for corporate. Wait a second. Another of those upgrades are the remote explosives. Yeah, that's what I thought. Actually turns out the charges are directional. They work the same as the laser, which makes them surprisingly usable. Some of the larger sections can be awkward, not only to move, but to get into the bins. Pieces get pulled towards the bins when they get near them, but they can get caught between the two as the two bins kinda compete to see who can pull it in the quickest. Or the pieces can be so massive, they just get wedged in the opening. And you can't pull them back out, because the bins are pulling them in. It's annoying. You feel like a dumbass when it goes wrong. You feel like a smart ass when it goes right. It is so satisfying to surgically pull a huge ship apart, to start with a huge Leviathan and whittle it down piece by piece, to disassemble a section and pull it free, to guide a huge donut-shaped section of hull down the length of the ship's structure, inch by inch, and then hit it in the corner, punting it into the processor in one smooth movement, to hurl the remaining length of the ship into the furnace and watch it burn up slowly in one long single piece. Oh, and the whole corporate thing, you're not hammered with it constantly while out in the field, or even when you're back in the habitat. A radio message when you start your shift, they stop after you've raised your level a few times, otherwise you're left to concentrate.
Alright, Cutter. Time to extract your first Class 2 reactor. This one's not quite as simple. Just pull it and barge it, right? Pretty straightforward. Well, I'm sure head office would rather the reactor was in one piece. Pulling this beast without proper prep is a sure way to print yourself a receipt for a new spare. Sure, prep. But you're on the clock, don't forget.
Every ship is a puzzle waiting to be solved, and while a lot of the pieces will after a while look very familiar, no two ships are exactly identical, forcing you to adapt. Plus, there are the ghost ships. Woo! Shh, spoilers. It's a puzzle game. Things start off slowly. You have to be prepared for that. The bits that you break the ships into are simply too big to hurl around very easily at first, but as you upgrade the grapple strength and upgrade the other bits of your equipment, things will get easier. It'll grease the wheels. And remember, the tethers are your friends.
Deposit accepted for processing.
I enjoyed this game. You have to be prepared for it for being a bit slow at first. That's all I would say. Right, I think that'll do for this video. What did you think of it? Leave a like or dislike down below. What did you think of the game? Have you played it? Are you thinking about playing it? Let me know down in the comments section. That's what it's for. And if anyone is a glutton for punishment, you can always subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, because apparently that's a separate thing. Or if you want to inflict me on someone else, you can always share instead. See you next time.